Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the positive approach in psychology. We'll go through the key strengths and weaknesses with research examples to support each point. The positive approach, developed by Martin Seligman and others, focuses on what makes life worth living, things like happiness, well-being, and human strengths. Instead of asking what's wrong with people, it asks what makes life go right. Big ideas include the importance of free will, mindfulness, and focusing on strengths instead of weaknesses. One major strength is that it takes a holistic view of human behavior. Unlike the biological approach, which reduces behavior to brain chemistry or genes, or the behaviorist approach, which reduces it to conditioning, the positive approach considers a wider range of factors: emotions, strengths, environment, and even spirituality. For example, Myers and Dina's research on subjective well-being considered multiple factors that can affect well-being, including money, culture, religion, and relationships. This is a strength of the approach, as a holistic view to understanding behavior gives us a richer, more complete understanding of human experience, compared to more reductionist viewpoints. Although being holistic is a strength, it's also a weakness. By trying to take everything into account, the positive approach can become too broad and lack focus. This can make it difficult to identify specific causes of behavior, which can then affect our ability to treat them. Another big strength is its practical applications. For example, mindfulness-based therapies have been developed from positive psychology ideas. Research by Kabat-Zinn, way back in 1990, showed that mindfulness-based stress reduction can reduce stress and improve well-being. More recently, Teasdale and colleagues in 2000 found that mindfulness-based cognitive therapy significantly reduced relapse rates in patients with recurrent depression. This is a strength of the positive approach, as it shows the approach has genuine benefits for mental health, making the approach useful and not just theoretical. Another strength of the positive approach is the focus on free will. It suggests that we are not just controlled by biology or the environment, but that we can make conscious choices to improve our lives. Mindfulness is an example of how we have the free will to control our emotions and well-being. By acknowledging negative thoughts and letting them pass without judgment, we can control how our thoughts affect our emotions. This is a strength of the approach, as it is empowering for individuals to feel that they can control their behavior, and contrasts with more deterministic approaches. However, taking free will into consideration can also be a weakness of the approach. If we are truly in control of our behavior, this makes it difficult to predict future behavior, which has implications for creating treatments for maladaptive behaviors. A free will stance also places blame for an individual's behavior on their shoulders. Finally, the positive approach has been criticized for lacking scientific rigor. Much of the research relies on self-report methods, interviews, or questionnaires about happiness and life satisfaction. These are subjective and prone to bias. What makes one person happy might not be the same for another. Plus, because many studies are non-experimental, we can't easily establish cause and effect. For example, Myers and Dina's literature review on subjective well-being. This is a weakness of the approach, as a lack of scientific evidence in support of the approach decreases the credibility of the approach in comparison to more scientifically sound approaches like the biological approach. To sum up, whilst the positive approach has strengths in its holistic perspective, practical applications like mindfulness, and consideration of free will, it can be criticized regarding the vagueness of a holistic view, difficulties regarding predictability of a free will stance, and its lack of scientific rigor. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more psychology content.